seem to understand. I'm not locked in here with you.
That's it! You're locked in here with me!
All right. What is this? Is it Friday night? It's the Friday Night Radio Baloney Live. I'm your host, Richie Baloney. How's everybody doing? Hope you're doing well. It's been a busy week, hasn't it? Every week is a busy week now. Lots and lots of news constantly all the time. All right, looks like we already got JJ Nevada in the chat. Good to see you. JJ Nevada got the first like of the stream. Excellent work. That means double karma for JJ. Double karma. Double good karma. Nice work. Can't get enough of that these days. In these troubled times, are you kidding me? Got Candle Monkey in the chat. Let's see. He's saying JJ showing great confidence in the show, liking before you even watched it. You don't need to watch it. You just know it's going to be good. Or what we call good here. All right. I think I've got some good news here too. I think, yeah, the ads are working tonight. The ads are working. All right. Maybe we should do one to start off the show. I don't think we've ever done that. I don't think we've ever started off the show with an ad. Let's do it. All right, people, it's National Preparedness Month. So at 4 Patriots, we want to celebrate by bringing back this unbelievable buy one, get one deal on solar generators. For a limited time, when you buy the powerful Patriot Power Generator 2000X, you get a mini generator for free. So that's an awesome generator plus another awesome mini generator for free. Plus, you'll also score 2 solar panels for free too. That's right, not one, but 2 solar panels come with this incredible buy one, get one deal on solar generators. So claim your power independence and free mini generator and free solar panels by going to 4patriots.com. That's the number 4patriots.com. Hurry though. You only have until midnight on September 30th to claim your free mini generator. Go to 4patriots.com. Go to 4patriots.com today. Man, we're getting this thing started off with a bang. Talk about that. Wow. Wow, that was good. That was damn good. Maybe this will be a good stream tonight. Maybe I'll be on fire tonight. I don't know. Looks like we got Radio Streamer in the chat. He only got the 3rd like, so that's normal amount of good karma, but it's still good karma. Let's see. Streamer says 9.2 out of 10. Although I must admit the cook added to it. Though I must admit the cook added to it. Yeah, that's why I left the cook up there, because I know what you guys like. Kettle Monkey says you write the shit out of that, Richie. JJ Nevada says, those are so nice. I know, those solar generators are awesome. The tits too. The tits do. They're mesmerizing. Hypnotic. All right. Hope everybody's had a good week. It's Friday night. You know what that means? That means we're going through all the news that I've been pulling together since Wednesday. And we got lots of it. Will this be a super long stream tonight? I don't know. It's going to go at least 4 hours. Sometimes we go 6 or even longer. I don't know what's going to happen tonight. It's going to be at least 4, though, I should say. All right, let's go through the menu, people. First off, we're going to talk about tens of thousands of illegal immigrants with sexual assault, murder convictions, roaming U.S. streets. It's an enormous amount. An enormous amount. Let's see, 663,000 with criminal histories. Of the 7 million migrants that ICE released, 666,000. It feels like somebody hates their own people. We'll take a look at that. We got this going on as well, which is just, there's really nothing I wouldn't believe at this point. Nothing that's too fanciful. Trump Force One, rumors spread of Mexican cartel plotting Trump assassination. Rumors about a third assassination plot against Donald Trump emerged with claims of missiles smuggled into the U.S. There's nothing that's too crazy for me to. I'm not gonna say there's anything that isn't plausible at this point. Nevada says that was a good read. It was a good read. It was a hell of a good read. So anyway, we'll take a look at that. Netflix has stopped funding Canadian arts and culture over Trudeau's online streaming act. That's Bill C-11. After investing $25 million, creating 1,200 jobs, Trudeau administration just destroys everything that it touches. This is another example. What else are we going to talk about? Robert F. Kennedy Jr. The more I see this guy, the more I like him. He's got some things to say about the WEF, and spoiler alert, he doesn't like them. He doesn't. I don't like them either. And I don't think you guys do either. So I'm good with that. Let's see what else we got. So we got the Butler. This news keeps trickling out about Butler, the assassination attempt against Trump. And there's a bipartisan Senate report that's come out. Some shocking details. Secret Service sniper who saw officers running to the building where the shooter would fire from failed to tell Trump security to get him off stage. And that's one of the enduring things that we wonder about with this, right? Like, how did they not just get him off the stage as soon as they knew something was up, anything was up? Like, it should be on a hair trigger. Get him out, anything. And now we know as well that it was 3 minutes that they knew he was up there. So we'll get into that. JJ Nevada says, damn that Trugina. And as everybody knows, anybody who puts a Trugina in the chat gets an applause. All right, we'll talk about that. What else are we going to talk about? So the NDP wants to make free speech totally illegal. NDP announces they will be voting to keep Trudeau in power on future confidence motions, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so this isn't what I'm talking about, but yeah, so anyway, there's no chance of getting Trudeau out anytime soon, but there's another thing. And where is it? The NDP wants to make it illegal to do residential school denialism in Canada. They've introduced a bill into Parliament. I'm sure we'll find, I've got that in here somewhere. So it's a contentious issue, and the NDP, basically the Communist Party of Canada at this point, they want to take all the contentiousness out of it by just making it illegal to talk about in a way that they don't like. This is Canada. This is, in Trudeau's Canada, it'll probably pass. It's completely insane, but we'll get into that. What else we got here? Oh, yeah. So here's this is the person who broke this story. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. Intelligence from the southern borders that 9 surface-to-air missiles have been smuggled into the U.S. across the New Mexico border. Is this true or not? I don't know. We'll find out. She broke it, but we'll talk about it. Let's see. We got, of course, some Kamala stuff here. She did that interview, her latest interview, set up softball interview, and she still failed that. She really is appalling. This is why they hide her. This is why they hide her, because she's not capable of doing an interview and coming across as somebody who knows anything about anything. It's just, she's just the word salad queen. And, you know, it maybe works. I guess it worked for some people at the debate, but you can't keep doing that because people realize, hold on, actually, she's not actually saying anything, but we'll take a look at that. A little bit of stuff on Bill C63, which is the dystopian Orwellian censorship bill in Canada. We'll talk about that. We'll go through all this stuff. We got Eric Adams here being indicted, and we'll talk about that. And there is reason. There are interesting things to talk about with this. The timing of it and the fact that he was indicted at all and what he was indicted over. It's kind of interesting. We've just got a bunch of random stuff. We've got Gorlock. We've got Gorlock is back on Radio Baloney Live. We'll take a look at that. Actually, just before we go, hold on one second. You guys know what's coming. Never gets old. What else? What else? If you haven't liked anything I've shown you so far, I'm sure there'll be something in here. Trump campaign predicted it in October of 2020. What does that mean? What's that all about? We've got this guy, Rosie, I think sent me this, and this is pretty funny. So we'll take a look at this. More protests, more Palestine protests in Canada. I don't know what's going on here, but we're going to take a look at it. Got some Matt Walsh stuff. We've got a squirrel who knocked over this broom and then played dead, and it's actually quite amusing. I think you're going to enjoy it. Stick around for it. We've got lots of interesting things here. Oh, yeah, here's the NDP wanting to pass a bill making it illegal to have a rational conversation about residential schools. Of course, you know what button we'll be utilizing for this. Of course, you know. I'm going to make you wait for it, though. Lots of interesting stuff. Oh, yeah, we've got Dylan Mulvaney now has like a stage show, like some Broadway show. And I don't know what to say about it. It's just kind of beyond imagination, really. We'll take a look at that. We got some Joe Rogan for you. We got all kinds of stuff. We got this guy. I cannot believe this guy isn't trolling, especially when you see something like this. Lots of interesting stuff. We have Unfrozen Caveman Tranny. And I made a few notes. We'll get into that later. Lots of crazy shit. I don't know what's going on here. It just, I don't know.
The age of men is over. The time of the orc has come.
We're getting there. We're getting there. All right. Then, of course, for those of you who may be watching right now who have never watched this stream before, we do something every Friday. I'm doing this every Friday until Justin Trudeau is no longer in power in Canada. It's called Grok versus Trudeau. Grok is the X or Twitter, formerly Twitter AI. I ask it to write a poem about Trudeau every Friday. It's getting harder and harder to come up with stuff because I've probably done 100 of these now. And Trudeau refuses to fucking step down. He refuses to leave. So I just have to keep doing these. Maybe he's a fan and he gets a kick out of it every Friday. I don't know. He does. Maybe that's why he's hanging around. He wants to keep seeing these. I have no idea. I kind of doubt it. But there are three things that must be in every poem. Justin Trudeau must do blackface. He must get a vaginoplasty, and he must be loaded into a giant cannon and launched into the sun by the people of Canada. I'll tell you what the prompt is, and then we'll read the poem later. Justin Trudeau, write a poem about Justin Trudeau in a desperate attempt to improve his poll numbers, gets permanent blackface treatment and a vaginoplasty, and holds a press conference to unveil his new identity. The immortal black trans bisexual atheist Jesus. He was looking for a rebrand there. Although a CBC panel quickly praises his new identity as stunning and brave, and that it is genocide, in fact, to suggest that Trudeau is actually just a mentally ill, malignant narcissist, every other person in Canada immediately demands he be loaded into a giant cannon and launched into the sun. Trudeau, please, that if he is spared, he will fund. Sorry about the grammar in this. I type it out very quickly, right off the top of my mind. Trudeau, please, that if he is spared, he will fund free sex change surgeries for all of Canada's pets. The public is unmoved, and Trudeau is launched into the sun. So you'll have to hang around if you want to see the poem that Grok came up with. And I read it already, and I'm telling you, it's pretty good. Pretty good. Whenever we get a little bit down, you guys can request the puppy palate cleanser. Look at this. That doesn't cheer you up nothing well. I mean, we look at some news that's really frustrating. Sometimes it's dark. Sometimes you need a palate cleanser to move on. If that's not going to do it for you, I don't know. Well, that's crazy levels of adorableness there. So we can go there. And of course, the other thing that has now just become a regular feature of this show is that if you guys get a little bit down and you don't want the puppy palate cleanser, you want something else to kind of soothe you and make you feel a little bit better, we go to the cook. And we just watch it for a little while. It's mesmerizing, and hypnotic, calming. It's a wonderful thing. All right. I guess we're all caught up to speed. Looks like we got a gay actor named Michael Douglas in the chat. Good to see you. He says, my power is out. So you must be watching it on your phone then. And your phone still has power. Well, hopefully you're not anywhere near the hurricane. Yeah, anybody, thoughts going out to anybody who's near or in the path or has had to flee from that hurricane? That looks awful. Let's see. JJ Nevada says, you need an email. We can send you stuff. You can send it to, go to the website, radiobaloney.com. I really don't do anything on the website anymore. I used to post links to all my videos there, but I stopped doing it. And I'd probably start again. But you can contact me through the website. You can send me an email through there, or you could just go on X and just look up Radio Baloney and you'll see me, verified account, and you can contact me through there. All right, everybody. Let's get started. Let's get started on this long, long road that we're going to be going on tonight. I better have some more rant juice. Hold on. I can feel that caffeine coursing through my veins, straight to my brain. It's excellent. Tens of thousands of illegal immigrants with sexual assault murder convictions roaming U.S. streets. ICE data. ICE provided the new data to lawmakers this week. So that's right, JJ Nevada, radiobaloney.com. So maybe ICE isn't that happy with the Biden administration, and this was kind of a tactical release, perhaps. Well, Michael Douglas is, oh, so you're POTUS George Kirby on Rumble, but you're Michael Douglas on YouTube. Okay, got a 2,700 watt generator, or I couldn't be listening in. I hope you got the one that I read the ad for. I hope you got that one. I've got a little solar generator too. Well, it's not a, well, I don't think you have a solar generator. I have a little solar generator. I think you probably have like a gas generator. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what you have. I just haven't had enough caffeine tonight, so I should have some more. Anyway, I'm glad you have power. All right, let's continue. Maybe I need to know more about, I need to actually really look into generators. I should spend more time doing that, actually, because, you know, the world is going to hell. Canada's going to hell. We know that. I should probably know more about it. I do have a little solar one. But, you know, I'm not going to be able to run much off that, really. I could recharge my phone. There's a few things. I guess I could run a fan off of it, probably. I got some battery banks. Actually work really well. But anyway, blah, blah, blah. Tens of thousands of illegal immigrants with sex offenses and homicide convictions are loose on the streets, according to Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, data provided to lawmakers this week. The agency provided data to Representative Tony Gonzalez, a Republican from Texas, about national data for illegal immigrants with criminal charges or convictions. The data as of July 2024 is broken down by those in detention and those who are not in detention, known as the non-detained docket. The non-detained docket includes illegal immigrants who have final orders of removal or are going through removal proceedings but are not detained in ICE custody. There are currently more than 7 million people on that docket. 7 million people. It makes you wonder, like, the whole remain in place thing that Trump had going on, that seemed like a pretty good idea. Then you just didn't have to deal with it. They just couldn't come in. You'd deal with you would process them while they weren't in the country. Doesn't that seem like a way better idea than just saying, no, everybody comes in and then we can't process you right away. So then we'll just have to let you go. And then we'll call you back some years from now when we'll never find you again. It's obviously, the whole thing is obviously to bring in voters. I don't know what else you could say. I mean, the absolute opposition to every election integrity measure, anyone that you could imagine, even just the most basic, like ID, signature verification, just everything, just making sure somebody's actually a citizen, anything that would provide any kind of confidence in election integrity at all. They're just an across the board, total hysterical opposition to by the Democrat Party. That's why they didn't like the whole, well, you can't come in. We'll check it out over here. You can't come in. We'll process this while you're over there, and then we'll just let you know. Let's see. The data says that among those not in detention, there are 425,000 convicted criminals and 222,000 with pending criminal charges. So I've got the numbers here. Here we go. Let's take a look. So currently detained, you've got 24,000, about 25,000 there. Non-detained, 647,000, according to these numbers here. It's all by design, isn't it? Obviously. Obviously. You look at these, assault, non-detained, either convicted or pending criminal charges. That's over 100, about 105,000 right there. Burglary, 17,000. Dangerous drugs, what's almost 70,000 there. These are just the little numbers. Fraudulent activities, that's over 20,000. General crimes, that's about 19,000. Just loose, just on the run, just running around, not even on the run, just running around, just doing whatever. Homicide, look at this. Homicide, that's what, 15,000. How is this possible? Look at this. This is crazy. Look at all of this. Weapons offenses. Look at that's what, 17,000. This is lunacy. This is lunacy. How do you know that they hate you? How do you know that they hate you? Or at the very least, that they are completely and totally indifferent to citizens' well-being. I think this is how you know. I think this makes it easy to know, right? Either hatred or total indifference. There is no part of this that speaks to, making anybody's life better or caring in the slightest. That's true across the West, by the way. That's every Western country. It all feels very coordinated, doesn't it? Let's see. Trump blames Harris amid data showing tens of thousands of criminal migrants in U.S. deliberately erased border. That cannot be argued. That cannot even be argued, can it? They removed his policies that would have prevented it. Former President Trump called the U.S. a dumping ground Friday, hours after newly released data revealed that tens of thousands of illegal immigrants with sex offenses and homicide convictions are roaming American streets. The whole West feels like a dumping ground now, doesn't it? The data from U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement says that among those not in detention, there are 425,000 convicted criminals and 222,000 with pending criminal charges. All right, so Trump says we're like a dumping ground. Non-citizens, convicted criminals from all over the world are right now at large in the United States of America. ICE blamed the figures on sanctuary cities, which refuse to cooperate with federal law enforcement in deporting illegal immigrant criminals. This all makes me think of the time, this all makes me think of the Russian Revolution, the time leading up to the Bolshevik seizure of power, where you just saw like every institution fractured and corrupted. Just everything, the army, police, everything. I mean, yeah, dysfunction across the board. But I call what woke does to modern Western institutions to be woke dysfunction, because wokeness causes dysfunction in everything.
Everything woke turns to shit.
It takes whatever it infects and turns it from its original purpose to the new purpose, which is pushing wokeness, pushing progressivism, right? Pushing deconstruction of everything. And ultimately promoting Marxism. But you see things like sanctuary cities. It kind of reminds me of that. Just this breakdown of culture and social norms and political norms and norms of really just the entire foundation of a civilization. The purpose is to wreck it, to weaken it so that you can take it over, fracture it, divide and conquer. The thought of something like sanctuary cities is so strange. It's so suicidal. This is, the suicidal empathy that somebody like Gad Sad talks about. Suicidal empathy. Let's see. The agency said ICE recognizes that some jurisdictions are concerned that cooperating with federal immigration officials will erode trust with the immigrant communities and make it harder for local law enforcement to serve those populations. However, sanctuary policies can end up shielding dangerous criminals who often victimize those same communities. Very interesting. They're saying that can erode trust and make it harder for law enforcement to serve those populations. I wonder if adding 663,000 criminals to the population also makes it harder to serve communities. I wonder. I'll bet you it does. Spoiler alert, it definitely does. Yeah, it's all just lunacy, right? Total and complete lunacy. All right, what are you guys saying in the chat? Michael Douglas is talking about his generator here. Again, I bought mine before the ad. It's an EcoFlow solar so it is a solar generator. Okay, top of the line, boss man. Nice. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I looked at the watts and I was like, is that a lot of watts or not a lot? I don't know. I can't remember what mine was. I think it might have been something around those numbers. EcoFlow. I think I have an EcoFlow air conditioner. I think it's the brand of my air conditioner. It works really well, actually. Michael Douglas says, mine can make a pot of coffee, run a refrigerator for 3 days. Really? That's pretty damn good. I'm not sure mine would be able to do that. I don't think it could, actually. So maybe, maybe I'll just get 5 of the 4 Patriot ones. I don't know. I have to take a closer look at their solar generators. You get 2 for the price of 1, so, Nevada says, talking about this, releasing 660,000 criminals into the U.S. population for some reason, for progressive reasons. He's saying that's fucking crazy. And he says 15,000 murderers just walking around among us. Yeah. Yep. We got J-Ham in the chat. Says 7 million illegals loose in the country is bad, but it could be worse. We could have a communist running for president that was in charge of the border that let those 7 million illegals in. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Well, let's hope that never happens, right? Nevada says, and those are the only ones that they admit to. Yeah, they actually don't know the number because those are the ones that they know about. Of course, many, many more have crossed undetected. Streamer says, wait, what? History can repeat itself? A lot of people think we're at the end of history. Nothing but really bad's ever going to happen again. That's why they think. That's why, like, these commie revolutionaries and everything, they think that they can just fuck with this. They've grown up in a world where everything is actually incredibly good compared to the past. So they have no idea of the kind of horrors that are awaiting them if they really do, tear down the system to build up their utopia. They have no idea. Of course, I'm sure the vast majority of them have never read anything about their ideology or the effects of their ideology. They've probably been told, oh, the history books that talk about, the 100 million people killed by communism. That's just capitalist propaganda. Maybe they think that. I don't know. But there's this sense in the West, aside from people who've actually served overseas, but just for your regular person living in society, there's this sense that nothing really bad is ever going to happen again. You couldn't have 1 million people starve to death in your country, because we're shielded from that now. We're shielded from history. We're at the end of history. Now it's just fucking around and LARPing. And everything will work out okay. Oh, it can work out badly. Oh, you can watch 1 million people starve in your own country. There's nothing magical about our modern civilization. It can be torn down. And if those lunatics ever manage to do it, the vast majority of them will end up regretting it. Hey, we got Rosie in the chat. I think I got a couple of things you sent me, Rosie, on the docket for tonight. Thank you for that. She says, no, more criminals does not mean more criminal activity, nor less service for the law-abiding. That's what they would have you believe, isn't it? It's incredible. See, Michael Douglas says, I need a fact check. Have 9 surface-to-air missiles been smuggled across the U.S. southern border? Have 13,000 convicted murderers crossed the southern border? Fact check.
Fact check.
More than 13. I think it's more than 13,000 convicted. I think it's 15,000. It's 13,000 convicted murderers, and then it's only, I think, about 2,000 that are waiting to be found guilty of murder that have crossed. The 9 surface-to-air missiles. We're going to get to that. It's not proven yet at this point. We'll find out more in the next week or so, doubtlessly, but we'll get to that story in a minute. Let's see. What else we got here? Antipop says some of those criminals swing down in webs to attack. Yikes. That makes it even more terrifying. Let's see. Nawada says we could see 300 million starve to death. Bad things can still, like horrific things can still happen. We're not shielded from that. We're not at the end of history. With enough incompetence and enough malign intent, unbelievably horrible things can still, in fact, they're happening around the world right now. Streamer says the vast majority of anyone who thinks that Marxism works assume that's because they will be the ruling class. Little do they know that the vast majority are useful idiots to be removed later. That's true. Yeah, the whole equity thing, it doesn't lift people up. It brings everybody down to the lowest common denominator. And it just does that every single time. And nobody is going to make it work right. Nobody's going to do Marxism right. Nobody's going to do communism right. It can't be done right. That's just what happens every single time because of human nature. It will happen every time because of the incoherence of the ideology. It's impossible for it to work out. But anyway, let's continue. Let's see. Antipop says, I got a fact check. Hold on a sec, you guys. All right. We've got Yves Simard in the chat over on YouTube. Says, on YouTube, going to Rumble after putting my like. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Let's see. All right. I think we're just about through with the chat here. Antipops. Bill Gates fact check. Well, what do you want to fact check about Bill Gates? Antipop. We got Drama Seeves, which I think is Yves Simard. So anyway, welcome back again on Rumble this time. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to the next story. Okay, so what's going on with this ground-to-air missiles thing, this 9 missiles thing? So this just came out today, and it has not been confirmed. I don't know if this is true or not, but let's take a look. Trump Force One, rumors spread of Mexican cartel plotting Trump assassination. Now, hold on a second. This is who broke it. Ann Vandersteel, breaking all hands on deck Americans. So who is she? Information war correspondent, Operation Burning Edge. She's got 266,000 followers on X. Intelligence just in from the southern border that 9 surface-to-air missiles have been smuggled into the U.S. across the New Mexico border. Intended target, Trump Force One. A confidential human source relayed to Doc Pete Chambers and Baz ARC, unconfirmed. So I guess they broke it, but this is the first person I saw it from. Unconfirmed possible Iranian origin. 3 three-man teams were intended to take delivery of the missiles. Members of Congress have been captured standing next to members of the cartel taking pictures. Interesting. Speculated an operation of this size would require insider help, upper-level management, perhaps the intel community and or DOJ. The Sinaloa cartel is the only known organization capable of facilitating an operation of this scope. Trump tweeted about it. He said, big threats on my life by Iran. The entire U.S. military is watching and waiting. Moves are already made by Iran that didn't work out, but they will try again. Not a good situation for anyone. I'm surrounded by more men, guns, and weapons than I have ever seen before. Thank you to Congress for unanimously approving far more money to Secret Service. 0 no votes, strictly bipartisan. Nice to see Republicans and Democrats get together on something. An attack on the former president is a death wish for the attacker. Now that he's not referencing this in that, and I think that was actually before this. He would have been talking about Asif Merchant, who is the Pakistani who had connections to Iran, apparently hired by Iran to organize an assassination attempt against Trump in the U.S. I have questions about all of this, especially the Iran connection. Now, Iran is an evil state. I mean, they kill, torture, imprison young women for not covering their hair. Bad guys, right? But I don't think they're stupid. I mean, I think they have a self preservation instinct. If they are connected to an assassination attempt on a former president or a candidate for president, if they're connected to that, and if it works, like if they were able to actually assassinate Trump, that's the end of Iran and the Iranian regime. It's over. That's it. They're done. They must know this, right? There's no other end to it. I mean, already the deep state is dying to get into Iran. That would be absolutely the excuse that they needed. In fact, it all feels kind of convenient to me. Some ways. Doesn't it feel a little bit convenient? That would be a suicidally stupid thing for the Iranian regime to do if they want to keep living. So, I don't know. I got questions about it. And this is not confirmed. Let's go back to this article here. Rumors about a third alleged assassination plot targeting Donald Trump have emerged on social media, claiming that 9 surface-to-air missiles have been smuggled into the U.S. to strike Trump's private plane, Trump Force One. Ann Vandersteel, a right-wing journalist and host of Operation Burning Edge, posted the claims on X, formerly known as Twitter, on September 26th. Intelligence just in from the southern border. Blah, blah. Okay, we've seen all that. All right, so we've seen all of this. On this being the third assassination attempt, it's actually the fourth, because back in 2016 or 2015, there was a guy in Vegas who tried to jump on the stage and grab the cop's gun while Trump was talking. So this actually be the fourth. As of now, neither the FBI nor the Secret Service has confirmed or denied any active assassination plot against Trump. These claims remain unverified but continue to spread across social media platforms. But there's something else interesting. Okay, check this out. Trump Force One grounded for Alabama trip, September 26th. This is interesting, right? Will Trump Force One bring Donald Trump to Tuscaloosa for Saturday's much-hyped Alabama home football game against Georgia? Now, this is after his Wisconsin rally was canceled because they said they couldn't secure it. They couldn't make sure it was secure enough. They didn't have resources to secure it. But this is Trump Force One grounded. Now, that's something you do if somebody had, surface-to-air missiles. 2 assassination attempts, continued threats from Iran, and congressional criticism of how the Secret Service has handled his security have prompted changes in Donald Trump's campaign. One major change could be how the Republican nominee travels. Amid criticism from some GOP members of Congress, the Secret Service is advising the Trump campaign to consider a multitude of changes in campaign operations, including the use of the Boeing 757 aircraft known by staffers as Trump Force One, that he uses to travel to campaign appearances. This week, U.S. intelligence officials briefed the Trump campaign on threats made against him by Iran. They also confirmed that Iran wants revenge on Trump because he ordered the killing of a top Iranian general in 2020. Again, if they were able to kill Trump, that's all the excuse the neocons and the deep state and the neolibs need to go and invade Iran and topple the regime, which they want to do. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Trump prefers flying on his iconic and clearly marked red, white, and blue Trump aircraft. But the New York Times has revealed the security agency is encouraging the campaign to restrict its use and travel on multiple smaller, less identifiable craft. So restrict its use and travel on multiple smaller, less identifiable aircraft. Same time, we got this rumor out about these missiles. I don't know. It's interesting. It doesn't prove anything. But as I've said before, nothing would surprise me anymore. There's nothing too crazy that I would say, no, that's not plausible. Nothing surprises me anymore. All right. So, I mean, that's about all we've got to say about it. And it's all unconfirmed. And maybe we'll find out more in the future. If it does end up being true, and cartels are involved, I mean, nothing. I won't be remotely surprised. I'll just say, oh yeah, okay, yep. I'm not surprised. Could see that coming. All right. I know what you guys really want to hear, though. This sponsorship is from Rumble, one that is incredibly important to the survival of the company. When Rumble first started in 2013, they built the platform for the small creator. They didn't censor or have biases. They were fair and treated all creators equally. No one thought platforms would censor political conversation or censor opinions on COVID, but they did. Facebook admitted they fell to pressure from the Biden and Harris administration. Rumble did not. They held the line. They are attacked daily for giving us a voice to talk to you. They are attacked in corporate media. They are attacked by governments like France. They are attacked from brand advertisers who refuse to work with them. Corporate America is fighting to remove speech. Rumble is fighting to keep it. Rumble won't survive with brand advertisers. They don't get much of it. Watching our show on Rumble is the most that they can ask of you. But if you really believe in this fight, and if you really have the means, one major way you can help Rumble survive is by joining Rumble Premium. I have. Join the community that believes in the First Amendment and believes in our human right to free speech. Rumble is offering $10 off with the promo code STUDIO. When you purchase an annual subscription, go to rumble.com/premium and use the promo code STUDIO. Like I said, if you have the means and believe in the cause, now is the time to join Rumble Premium. If you don't have the means, we're just happy if you watch us on Rumble. My God, I'm on a roll. I am on a roll tonight. I'll probably wait a little while before I do the next ad, though. That was 2 ads in 48 minutes. It's probably squeezing a few too many in. Or 1 too many in that time. But it felt good, I can tell you that much. It felt damn good. All right. Let's see. Okay, what are you guys talking about? Let me get through some of these chats. Nevada says Biden Obama would probably send Iran another pallet of cash. I don't think that Biden is in control of anything, and I think that the people who are controlling him would love to go in and take out the Iranian regime. Let's see. Rosie says, how do they get a missile in when we have to toss heirloom pocket knives and shampoo? The TSA. I don't know if they brought them on a flight. They might have. Maybe down their pant legs or something. Let's see. Nevada says, Rosie, same way you get a plane load of coke in. Let's see. All right. All right. Streamer says 8.8 out of 10. No boobs. I forgot to put the boobs on for you guys. Hold on. There we go. You can see him while I do this last. Nevada says, damn, Richie, that was great. Absolutely. See, Nevada gives it a 9 out of 10. Felt like a good ad read to me. Rosie says, great ad read until the end. You smiled throughout until the last sentence. 9.7 out of 10 for the whole thing until the last few words. 2 out of 10. 9.7 until 2. I still get an applause. Rosie says, boobs, I thought that was cooking. It is cooking. It is cooking. The boobs are entirely incidental. All right, let's move on. What do we got next? Netflix to stop funding Canadian arts culture over Trudeau's online streaming act after investing $25 million, creating 1,200 jobs, because the Trudeau regime destroys everything that it touches, because it's incompetent and stupid and malign, and they just do things. I think that's the thing with like progressives, right? They just support doing things. And they got to keep progressing. You just have to do something. If something hasn't changed in a little while, for 5 minutes. You've got to change it more. You've just got to do something. You've got to progress, they call it. I'm not sure they understand the meaning of the word progress. Anyway, Netflix is cutting funding to Canadian arts and culture projects worth $25 million and responsible for the creation of 1,200 jobs in response to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's Online Streaming Act, or Bill C-11. The legislation passed 17 months ago forces online broadcasters to meet Canadian content mandates. In an announcement last week, the company said it would be cutting funding to arts and entertainment training and developing initiatives that it invested in since it expanded to the Canadian market in 2017. The decision is a result of the Online Streaming Act's Canadian content rules that allow the Canadian Radio, Television, and Telecommunications Commission to extort 5% of an online media outlet's domestic revenue to Canada's two Canadian projects, True North reported. The worst part of this Bill C-11, which they don't talk about in this, is that it gives the CRTC, which is just a government bureaucracy, which, if it's like every other institution and bureaucracy in Canada, it's totally left-wing, far left. It gives them the power to essentially tell social, like YouTube, for instance, who are going to be the winners and the losers on that platform. So it deals with Netflix and Prime and all of that, but it also deals with things like YouTube. And it gives them the power to tell that platform who's going to be the winners and the losers when it comes to Canadian content that Canadians can see. Right? They talk about authentic Canadian content. It's not defined in any way, right? It really is going to be used as a political tool to have say YouTube promote views that the CRTC likes and demote views that it doesn't like. Of course, that's the real goal of it. I'm sure they couldn't care less about this, right? The real goal is to try and control messaging in Canada. Again, the Trudeau regime, they're not liberal, they're illiberal. They're a far left progressive party now, right? So every bit of legislation they're passing as it regards to the internet is just about censorship and controlling messaging. That's it. That's the whole point. If it wasn't, they wouldn't bother doing it. They wouldn't care. Let's see. We got CC1 Paul. Welcome to the chat. Says, bring back the Littlest Hobo. Littlest Hobo. I have such fond memories of the Littlest. That song. The song brings me to tears. In fact, you know what? I think we have to find it. Hold on a second. Let's do a fact check on if we should bring back the Littlest Hobo.
Fact check.
All right, here we go. Now, tell me you can watch this and it doesn't bring a tear to your eye. All right, hold on. Lame Ed. That's a long one. We're not interested. We don't care. Whatever it is, we're not. Maybe tomorrow I'll want to settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on. I'll just keep moving on. The Littlest Hobo. I'm almost in tears just reading that, just saying those words. Never mind singing it. I'm almost in tears just saying that. This has such strong sentimental value to me. Why can't they do this? Why can't they do this? They have to, like, this hour is 22 minutes has to do. It's appalling, insulting attack on the truckers. Not even an attempt to be funny. They just look like, and I did a video on that, by the way. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe and you can see all my wonderful videos. I did a video on that. And it's not even an attempt to be funny. It just seems like it's just a display of loyalty to Justin Trudeau, who's ultimately responsible for their paychecks. This is the real Canada. This is this is the Canada that I miss. That travels around helping people. The littlest hobo. God damn it. I wish I was the littlest hobo. It's a damn fine dog. That's the best of Canada right there. Not even come close to equaling it since. I don't care how many Tom Cochrane songs I hear. I don't care. I don't care how many songs Tom Cochrane puts out. Nothing will ever top this. JJ Nevada says, damn that True Gina. Well, you know, True Gina always gets an applause in the chat. Let's see. Beachcombers, Trailer Park Boys. Yeah, I know. Those are classics too. Classics too. But nothing can ever have the sentimental value for me of The Littlest Hobo. It just tops everything. Let's see. Did anyone sponsor Schitt's Creek or Corner Gas? Schitt's Creek was definitely liberal. Corner Gas, not so much. Both very funny Canadian. I got to be honest with you. I don't think I ever watched either of them. I think I watched one episode of Schitt's Creek on a plane. Thought it was okay. Wayne and Schuster reruns. Oh my. I haven't heard of that. I haven't heard that in a long, long time. Rosie says, oh, I've been deprived. Never seen Littlest Hobo. Just watch some episodes on YouTube. Just do it. Let's see. CC1 Paul says, does bring back memories. It does indeed. Good memories. Nevada says, dog show. Yeah, it's a dog. It's about a dog that travels around helping people. He was a good boy. Streamer says, hey, look, it's a rainbow before they made it gay. Yep, now they own the rainbows. Let's see. Rosie says, Richie, you have to go back to see fact check from the anti-pop about Gates buying parts of Bragg. So what's going on there? Anti-pop. I'm looking. Anti-pop. Big fizzy drink company won't print Jesus on their custom cans. Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Let's see, anti-pop. I'm trying to find it. Gates family buying a controlling interest in Mrs. Bragg's apple cider vinegar bottlers. Okay, well, I guess we'll do it.
Fact check.
Okay, I'll bring it up as soon as I've got it typed in here. Interest, hold on. Mrs. Bragg's apple cider vinegar bottlers. I got to say that compared to the other things that Bill Gates has been rumored to be involved in, this doesn't sound that evil. Oh, hold on. There we go. Fact check from Reuters. Bill Gates did not buy Bragg and change its apple cider vinegar recipe. So Reuters is saying, let's take a look. Let's see. Share the claim. Because you hadn't heard, Bill Gates purchased Bragg's apple cider vinegar. He has changed up the ingredients. Buyer beware. Well, he might have wanted to put crickets or mosquitoes in it. If he did, he'd definitely do that. So that would make it newsworthy. Bill Gates does not own nor has he invested in Bragg. Okay, if he did, so yeah, I don't think it's well, hold on. Let's hear it from number 2.
It's a total fabrication.
Well, that's good enough for me. So, I mean, again, of all of his evil plots, evil Mr. Burnsian plots. That seems like one of the least evil ones, buying an apple cider vinegar company. I mean, there's not that much trouble he could cause with that, right? Although you would definitely put crickets and, I don't know, disease mosquitoes in there if he did. So we'll keep our eyes open. Let's see. Gay actor named Michael Douglas says, have you ever fact-checked if Bill Gates is indeed a Rothschild? So, and I keep hearing I've seen this around for years, Rothschild. I've never really looked into it. What is that exactly? Bankers or something? I don't know. We can check it out. Let's take a look.
Fact check.
All right. Bill Gates. Not really seeing anything that's jumping out here. The Corona crisis, the Rothschilds, Bill Gates, search for a scapegoat has begun, blah, blah, blah. Article's 4 years old. Yeah, I don't think it said anything about Bill Gates and Rothschilds in there. I don't know. Maybe we'll go to, hold on a sec. Let's ask X. Let's ask Grok. Grok is pretty good. Is Bill Gates a Rothschild? There's no verifiable genealogical evidence linking Bill Gates to the Rothschild family. Bill Gates comes from a well-documented background, with his father being a prominent lawyer and his mother having her own notable career. The Gates family wealth is self-made through Microsoft, not inherited through centuries-old banking dynasties like the Rothschild. Conspiracy theories. The idea that Gates might be related to the Rothschilds often stems from broader conspiracy theories about global control, wealth, and influence. These theories like to weave together unrelated threads to create narratives where a few families control the world's wealth. Fun to ponder in a what-if scenario, but lacking in the department of hard evidence. Okay, so no. Hold on.
It's a total fabrication.
So it's not real. The Rothschilds, I keep seeing this around. I've seen it around for years. It's not something I've ever looked into because there's just only so many things you can look into. But we've solved that. We've done a fact check. He is not a Rothschild. I thought they were just like from it's just like a Midwest family, like a normal family. You know, that's what I thought. It sounds like they're a bit wealthier and more well off than I thought before, but just, you know, it's like maybe upper middle class. Let's see. Rosie says, I heard that too about the ACV. What's the ACV and Gates? Would love a fact check. I quit buying after I heard it. Oh, that's this apple cider vinegar. I've never checked again. It sounds like you're fine buying that apple cider vinegar. That's one of the ones that's not true. Again, it seems like of all of his evil plots, seems like the least evil, really. I mean, I'm not defending Bill Gates here, but it just seems like the apple cider vinegar thing I don't know. It seems fairly minor, if indeed it was true, which it doesn't look like it's true. So. All right. Let's go back now to this. Okay. Let's see. Nevada says bankers. That's the Rothschilds, I guess. Edgepop says apple cider vinegar drinkers could be a demographic they want to target. I had a little period where I was having a little bit of, I was using apple cider vinegar actually to cook. So I was having some stomach issues, and yeah, I thought that would help. CC1 Paul says, I heard Bill Gates' father was a eugenicist connected to the old money. Well, we just did he was a lawyer. I mean, they had, it doesn't sound like they were an old money family, though. Michael Douglas says, you got to stop using Google. Google is propaganda. The truth will usually be hidden. Well, we could use, which one do you guys, because I'm kind of limited. Like I have to use stuff that will work with my streaming and the streaming software, and like for the audio coming out of the, like from the video and stuff. So I don't know. What would you guys say? We could maybe look at something, maybe DuckDuckGo. Well, this is interesting. Michael Douglas says, don't believe me. Google happy white woman and image on images and see what Google shows. I'm excited to check this out. All right. Because I think I've actually seen this before. They might have fixed it by now, but let's check it out.
Fact check.
All right. Let's look for already he is that Rachel Dolezal? That would be hilarious if that was her. Let's take a look at the images. Okay, so there. And yeah, right away. Holy crap. Wow. Isn't that amazing? That's looks kind of mixed race there. These all look like white women, but right away they start, well, most of them are. These are all mixed race couples here. For some reason, white women with non-white men. They're trying to tell us something. But you can see right away there's a happy woman who's not white, but we did ask for a happy white woman. So it's mostly, as you scroll down, why is every white woman who's in a relationship here in a mixed race relationship? That can't be an accident. That can't be it. I think there's one there where it's not. That can't be well, I mean, they seem to have I mean, I don't care about mixed race relationships, by the way, at all. Right? I could not care less who people date, but there's one who's a black woman with a white guy. They seem to be really into it. Something they're really pushing. Again, I personally don't care. But yeah, you do see it's relevant to see there's clearly something happening here that's not by accident. Isn't that interesting? Well, I think on this one we have to say, oh,
Fact check.
Hold on, that's not what I wanted. Hold on.
You're right. It's fact.
It is fact. Isn't that interesting? Okay. All right, so you got one there. Let's see. Canada Monkey says, are alligators swimming in the streets in Florida after the hurricane? Yes, they are. I can confirm that for you right now. Yes, they are. Of course they are. It's Florida. Let's see. Nevada says, I use Duck or Brave. Let's see. Free Spoke for a bit. Try Free Spoke. Brave. I use it. Electronics. Nothing is an accident, Nevada says. Yeah, nothing is an accident. Interesting, though, isn't it? Interesting. I think it used to be worse, though. But yeah, it's still obviously something's going on. All right, let's take a look. Let's go into this. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the World Economic Forum is a billionaires' boys club that's arranging for the world to shift wealth upward and to clamp down totalitarian controls on everybody else. So I think this is music to my ears. I think it's going to be music to most of your ears as well. Let's take a look. I think getting our RFK Jr. as a part of the Trump campaign was just such a massive win. Him, Tulsi, of course, the mainstream media is ignoring them, right? Elon, RFK, Tulsi. The mainstream media is either demonizing them or ignoring them. But that was a massive win. If Trump wins, I believe this will have been the thing that pushed him over the edge, because it's a coalition now, right? He's got some people that I mean, you've definitely got some people who have been Democrats who are disillusioned with the Democratic Party who will go with RFK. I would say it's same for obviously for Tulsi and Elon as well. Tulsi was a Democrat. Elon was always just a liberal. In fact, I think for the most part, he still is. It's just there's no room for liberals with the illiberal left-wing parties that we have in the United States or in Canada or the UK or Australia or anywhere else in the West. So let's take a look at this.
Where do you stand on the WEF, the World Economic Forum?
It is like, we shouldn't be paying any attention. It's a billionaires' boys club as arranging the world to shift wealth upward and to clamp down totalitarian controls on everybody else. And now they got the capacity to do it. They got all these countries running around doing what they tell them to do. It's astonishing to me that, these people go to Davos in their private jets.
Yes.
And they're able to tell these world leaders, how to govern us in ways that eradicate our constitutional and civil rights and constantly shifting wealth. I mean, COVID, we shifted $4 trillion of wealth upward. We closed all the little guys.
Yeah.
And
Home Depot was open,
and Google, and they're all colluding with each other to censor the people who are like me who are complaining about it.
Where do you stand on the WEF, the World Economic Forum?
It is.
Yeah, more of that, please. More of that. And the transfer of wealth upwards is a huge part of the whole WEF thing, obviously, right? As was the whole COVID thing. Pretty much everything. Mass migration is another transfer of wealth upwards, right? The government has to print money to support these people, and then what happens? They spend it. Who are they going to spend it with? Big corporations. It goes up. Of course, in Canada, you have the absurdity of the working class having to pay taxes so that the government, Trudeau's government, can then give some of that money to corporations like Tim Hortons to hire temporary foreign workers at a lower wage. The working class subsidizing their own replacement. That's a transfer of wealth upwards. Anybody who's got anything to do with the WEF is not trustworthy. I mean, there've been a lot of conservatives in the past who have gone over there. Harper went over there, but when Harper went over there, he told them stuff they didn't want to hear, and they got mad, right? If you show up there at all at this point, though, that's not a good sign, unless it's just to simply give them a piece of your mind and tell them everything they're doing is wrong. Because it seems to be the World Economic Forum plan appears to be to just implement Chinese-style totalitarianism everywhere. And I think corporations, a lot of the biggest corporations like it, because then they almost just become a part of the government itself, which means they're untouchable, right? As long as they go along and they play the game and they do what they're supposed to do, they're untouchable, right? And their wealth is untouchable. It's kind of that's the real fascism, right? Right now, China is morphed from a communist state into a fascist state, which isn't a very far walk to my mind. They're both left-wing ideologies. They're both collectivist ideologies, right? They're both about the state above all. So this is the sort of thing that we need to hear more of. Of course, this is one of the reasons why they hate him so much, obviously. Why the media hates him so much. But this is the sort of thing that's going to appeal to, a lot of disaffected Democrats. And it's good for them to hear it. It's good for them to be woken up and to be red-pilled on this stuff. So again, I think this was such a huge win for Trump, right? Because it brings in a coalition. It really is more what a political party should be. It should be a bunch of different views, not total agreement on everything, not total conformity on everything, right? Some disagreement, some competition between ideas is a good thing. It's always a good thing. To have some compromise within your own party is a good thing. You know, different viewpoints. This is a good thing. Total conformity is not a good thing. That just speaks to a bunch of ideologues. And ideologues are not good for anybody. They're not good for a healthy society. They're not good for human well-being, because what an ideologue does is he has his ideology, which is basically a set of propositions on how the world should be, how it should be now, and how it should be in the future. And then they look at the world, and the world isn't like that. And they institute their ideas, and the world still doesn't conform to what their theory says it should. So instead of adapting their ideas to reality, to the world, they try to adapt the world to their ideas. This is how you end up with millions of people starving to death. This inability to recognize reality, or to respect reality, or to be able to describe the world accurately. Anyway, I think it's a marvelous thing. I mean, and it feels a lot more democratic, doesn't it? You got Trump, you got RFK, you got Elon, you got Tulsi. It feels more democratic, doesn't it? You know, I know that the United States is a constitutional republic. I know that, but just, you know, in the shorthand that we use. What's it say underneath? Oh, what's this? A t-shirt. World Enslavement Forum. Pretty much. I mean, they're pretty open about it, right? You'll own nothing and you'll be happy. I mean, that feels like slavery to me. You'll have to lease or rent everything. That feels like slavery to me. That doesn't feel like freedom, really. You'll own nothing and be happy. Do free people own nothing? If everything you've got is owned by some Globo Corp, well, how are you ever really free? They can take that away at any time, right? If you can't own anything, how can you really be free? So I don't know, other great ideas like 15-minute cities and, you know, communal cars, as if that was going to work out great, as if anybody would like that. I don't want other people using my car. I don't want strangers. I don't want my neighbors using my car. And I'm pretty sure my neighbors don't want me using their car, right? I want my own car. I like having my own car. That works out great for me. No thanks, WEF. Actually, fuck off. Actually, shut up, commie. Actually, commie gets nothing. All right, I don't know.
And that's nothing but pure and simple old-fashioned communism.
Sure is, Jackie Gleason, that WEF, those WEF. Well, here's the thing: is that it's socialism for thee, not for me. That's what it comes down to. And really, I think the way it expresses itself, the way that it's meant to express itself, is as Chinese totalitarianism. So, you know, this communist totalitarianism over the people in the style of classic Chinese communism or Soviet Union, but then with capitalism with Chinese characteristics. Which means very, very close work. Essentially, you know, just the ultimate crony capitalism. Or maybe that's even the wrong way. It's just this deep, deep connection between corporations and the government. So free markets are out, right? Those are gone now. So it's not really capitalism anymore. And the power of the corporation is enforced by the government, and it's this symbiotic relationship. So again, it's not really capitalism. That's what they mean by capitalism with Chinese characteristics, right? Like there's no actual free markets at work there. And you ultimately don't have any freedom because every company in China has a Chinese Communist Party office in it. And you will do what the state wants. Let's see. POTUS George Kirby says, yes, fascism is the merger of corporations and state. The damn plan, but they call you a something fascist. Yeah. But yeah, fascism is the merger of corporations and the state. That's a big part of it. And that does seem to be the plan. CC1 Paul says, I won't go to Tim Hortons since they wouldn't accept camp for kids that weren't vaccinated. Really? Ugh. So grotesque. All right, let's go through a few more here. Rosie says, I like the commie sound effects. I do too. It's fun. Nevada says, WEF, go fuck yourself. Antipop adds, Globocom loves you. They say they do. They say they really do. Let's see. All right. Blah, 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 blah. All right, let's move on. What else do they have in here, actually? Let's see. Globalism, Marxism, fascism, Klaus, WEF, globalism. Yeah, it's something like this. Team Unity. I like this one. You got Vance, you got Tulsi there, you got RFK, you got Elon, you got Vivek. I'm still a big Vivek fan. That guy is dynamic. All right. What else we got going on here? Yeah, here's one of these WEF witches. This is bonkers. She ignores the fact that people are not going to use their neighbor's car and that a neighbor is not going to let anyone else use their car. Yes, I wouldn't. I don't want to let people use my car. I don't want to use anybody else's car either. In fact, I just want to have my own fucking car that I can drive whenever I goddamn well please. That's what feels like freedom to me.
So this is why we talk about mobility, because actually, if you can get people to share a car, you can take out, a lot of cars.
People, do you mean like you? Are you going to share a car? Oh, you're not? Oh, you're going to have your own car and a driver. Okay. Oh, well, I guess that wouldn't apply to you, would it? Because you're WEF. So no, it's for the peasants, right?
In the streets. I think it's Singapore where they looked at how they could bring it down to about 40% of the cars if we would use them smarter. And the interesting thing about technology is that it makes sharing easy and fun and not annoying. It used to be a little bit difficult to share. You would have.
It makes sharing easy and fun. It'll be so fun for you peasants. The peasants will have so much fun sharing because sharing is easy and fun now. It's fun sharing your car. It's fun not having your car when you need it. It's fun not having your car when there's an emergency, say. It's fun and easy. Let's see, World Economic Forum censorship, which tells us so.
Have to go in somewhere in the other end of town and get a key. And that's not what you want to do if you want to take your car. But if you can just use your neighbor's car because you have a smartphone and an app and you don't even need to know the neighbor to get into his car, or if you can find ways of.
Well, that makes sense. Strangers getting into your car. That's great. Everybody's going to love that. Look, some people would like that. There are some people who would that. I'm just saying most people would not like it, especially when the obvious happens, which is suddenly you don't have a car anymore.
Carpooling, and this is what technology helps you do. It's much easier and much more fun to share. And you start then thinking completely different about transport and traffic. And I think it's very important that we do not just try to fix yesterday's paradigm. But
no. Commie gets nothing. All right. So I think it's time that we shut off the YouTube portion of this and continued on with Rumble. So we always start streaming with Rumble and YouTube. simultaneously. But then about an hour and a half in, we have to cut off the YouTube part because there's just too much censorship. And I don't know, the next thing I say could get my channel nuked. So what we have to do, unfortunately, although I thank the viewers on YouTube very much, and I do appreciate you, I ask you to move over to Rumble. Come to Rumble. It's, the chat is wonderful. The water's great. Everybody's fun. Everybody's happy. Everybody's nice. They're going to welcome you right in. Don't be shy. Just announce yourself. You'll have a good time. But I'm afraid we cannot continue to keep seeing each other. We cannot continue to keep seeing each other tonight on YouTube because of well, I call it Stalin tube or Mao tube. People call it different things. Some people call it Pol Pot tube, which is a good one. I like that one. But anyway, we have to shut it off now. So hope to see you on Rumble. If not, we'll see you on Sunday night.